Here's a weapon you guys might not have heard of. It's called the Tysis, and it's pretty underrated. You're gonna learn all about it today. How's it going today, friends, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Watch It in Action. I'm BouseFeenux, and as I said previously, we'll be learning about the Tysis today, which is quite possibly one of Warframe's most underrated and forgotten about weapons. Those of you veterans out there might have a deep love for this weapon, or you might have one collecting dust in your inventory. Either way, I figured I'd throw this video together and remind you that it exists. For starters, the Tysis is a secondary weapon of infested design and fires darts that corrode enemies from within. In game terms, this basically means that it does corrosive damage as its primary form of base damage. Its blueprint can be purchased in the market for credits, or you can buy it outright for platinum. As far as the stats go, it's got a massive 50% status chance, but also has fairly low base damage and no critical chance. The big kicker here is that with the right build, you can get this thing to 100% status chance fairly easily. And as those of you more experienced players out there know, a fairly quickly firing weapon with basically pinpoint accuracy and 100% status chance can definitely wreak some havoc. The one downside to this weapon is the travel time of the projectile. This isn't a hit scan weapon like the Soma Prime or Brayton. It's more like the Boltor Prime or a bow, meaning you'll have to lead your shots somewhat. Since a great deal of Warframe weapons have this feature, I wouldn't say it's that hard to get used to. As for the build, you can see that I've heavily overformed this weapon. I received this thing a long time ago when I was a young Bouse and didn't know how to efficiently form weapons. I am thankful I did it this way though, because I now have enough space to fit in a primed heated charge. This build is pretty simple though, so I won't be going through the mods in detail like I usually do. There isn't really anything too crazy here. I will say that you'll notice though that I'm using a Magnum Force. People hate this mod and rightfully so. It doesn't add much in the way of damage and has a steep accuracy penalty. But I am using it because the accuracy penalty doesn't really hurt this weapon much, and it increases our damage across the board. Could I add another 60% elemental? Yes, but that would add other elements to my build and mess up what I've got going here. If you've got a better build than this, feel free to use it, but from the tests I've done, this one seems to be quite effective. Speaking of which, I'd love to show this thing off to you in a high-level setting. Here we are in the Simulacrum. To demonstrate this weapon, I'll be using some highly armored targets, starting first with the Corrupted Heavy Gunner at level 100. This is a pretty tough target to take down by just about any weapon standards, but our combination of Viral, which attacks this enemy's clone flesh, plus the heat and corrosive that attack its armor, work really well together to whittle this enemy down. The real test came when I tried this weapon against a Corrupted Bombard at level 100. These are widely considered one of the tankiest enemies in the game, and with this build, I was able to take one out. The cool thing too is that with 100% status chance, I was consistently applying the fire status proc, which constantly stuns enemies and causes them to panic, leaving them stun-locked and docile for follow-up shots. This is only one of the elemental combos you can try. Consider using cold, electric, gas, or just about anything else. And that about wraps this video up, guys. Before I end though, I do want to say something. I've been noticing a lot of do this or do that weapon comments, and these aren't really helpful to me. I try to do as many weapons as I can, but as you guys know, there are a lot of them in this game, not to mention I have to format every weapon and then test it. I will get to them, I promise you, but I can tell you that private messaging me on Discord, tweeting me, or just bombarding me with these type of comments isn't really going to make me move faster on a particular weapon. I have an upload schedule and I'm really trying to stick to it. I recently had to take a part-time job, so my gaps between uploads have been pretty large and I apologize for that, but until I can sustain myself from just YouTube, I've got to do what I need to in order to get my bills paid. If you would like to help me reach that goal quicker though, I highly suggest pledging to my Patreon page. Even $1 a month helps out tremendously, and those of you that have pledged already, I thank you profusely. Lastly, to end on a positive note, I sincerely want to thank you guys for 9,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome for helping the channel grow so quickly. I can't wait to see where we'll be in another 6 months. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you at the next video.